Hey there. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my automated hiring system for recruitment and agencies and basically any business with a repeatable hiring process. So let's dive right in. This here is the workflow. The applicant is going to fill out a form, then ask them some questions. And then when they submit that form, we're going to create a new record in our CRM with all of the details and information that they've supplied in their form responses. And the moment that they get added to our CRM, we're going to send them an automatic email basically confirming that we've received their application. And then we're also going to send an internal notification to our Slack so that our hiring team or our HR team is alerted that we have a new applicant that's ready to be processed. So the first thing that we have to do as the company is approve or reject the application. So we're going to go into our CRM, we're going to review the applicant, look at their portfolio, and then if we decide not to proceed with the applicant, we're going to move them into the no fit stage of our CRM. And this will automatically trigger a declined email to the applicant telling them, sorry, but you've been unsuccessful, better luck next time. And if we approve them, we're going to move them into the stage called invited to interview. When we do this, we're going to send them an automatic email that invites the applicant to book in an interview time that suits them. We've got this synced up in cal.com where we already have our own availabilities that's synced to our own calendar, and they can pick the slot that they want. When they book in a meeting, our CRM is automatically going to update them back to the interview booked stage. And when this happens, we're going to send them automatically an email that provides them with some interview preparation. And we're also going to send another internal notification to our Slack, letting the hiring team know that an interview has been booked with an applicant. And then we also have a reminder sequence basically that goes out to the applicant, reminding them that the interview is coming up. Once the interview has occurred, the CRM automatically up their stage to interviewed. And then from there, we can decide if we want to hire them or not. And if we do decide to hire them, we can, of course, automate an offer and contract going out to the applicant. So let me show you what that looks like in practice. So I'm going to be the applicant and I'm going to apply for a job at my business. So first name, last name, Jai Cumming. Going to enter my mobile number here and my email. And when I hit OK, we're going to go to the next page, which is basically, we're assuming this is a sales role, but obviously you could put in any questions that you want. So in this case, we're asking, have you ever sold a product worth more than $5,000? Yes, I have. And finally, could you please attach a Loom video explaining who you are, your job history, and why you want to work here? So I've prepared one earlier. So I'm just going to add in the Loom video URL and hit submit. Thanks for submitting your application. We'll review this and get back to you within 48 hours. If you're not accepted, you receive an email notification. Now, if I go over to my inbox here, this is an automated email that we send out when someone applies. So, hi Jai, thanks for applying to TechFlow Automations. We're excited to learn more about you. This is just a quick note to let you know we've received your application and our team is currently reviewing it, basically what they saw on the form. So if we jump over to our CRM now, you can actually see that we've got a new CRM entry here for Jai Cumming. They've automatically been moved to the applied stage. You can see we've actually captured all of the information from the form. So the first name, last name, contact email, contact phone. Have they sold high ticket before? This was, have you sold over $5,000 before? A link to their portfolio. And also we got a new Slack notification. You have received a new job application from Jai Cumming. Here's the information that they filled out on the form. We have buttons here to approve or deny if you wanted to action it through Slack. So I'll just quickly show you what that looks like in Make. Make.com, if you don't know, is a tool that kind of acts like glue and lets you connect different pieces of software together. So the first thing that we did in Make was that we watched for responses from Type, which was our sales hiring form that we first went through. And then once we've got a response, we've created a new, what we call a task in ClickUp. ClickUp is the CRM I'm using, and a task is basically a new applicant in this case. So this module here is responsible for taking the applicant and moving them into our CRM. If I go to the next workflow here. So what this does is once someone gets moved to the applied stage, which they automatically do when we create an entry for them in ClickUp, we kick off this process It basically sends them the confirmation email that we looked at earlier. So this was that same email here. This time it's written in HTML tags. We also include that email to the applicant as a comment in our CRM, just so that we have a record of the communications that we've sent to our applicants. And then we're basically just updating ClickUp to say, hey, we've sent them an email. So if we happen to move them back into the applied status for whatever reason, that won't send them another email. So we just avoid spamming them there. And then finally, we've also got this create a message in Slack, which is what we just looked at. So next, there's two things we can do. So either we're not happy with the applicant, in which case we can move them to no fit, or we could decline them in Slack. Or if we are happy with the applicant, we can move them here to the invited to interview stage. And what happens when we move them to the invited to interview stage is, again, we're sending them another email. Hi, our team loved your video and the rest of your application. We'd love to extend an invite to learn a little bit more about you over a call. And then we're sending them a link to our Cal, or in this case, cal.com. You could use any calendar app. So, hi, congratulations, Jai. We'd like to have you for an interview. Hi, Jai, our team loved your video and the rest of your application. We'd love to extend an invitation to learn a little bit more about you over a call. If this is still something you're interested in, please book a meeting with a manager, Jai, using this link. So if I click here, this will take me to my calendar. So you can see here, this is automatically synced with my availability. So maybe we want to take the next available session at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. I'm just going to fill in my details and hit confirm. So when the applicant creates a booking in cal.com, make.com is going to basically listen for that, and it's going to do a couple of things. First, it's going to send them another email saying thank you for applying, and we're just going to give them some interview prep, some information about the company, perhaps anything that you want the applicant to have leading up to the interview. And then we've also created another Slack message, which I'll just show you here. So our interview booked channel, you have a new booked interview. And again, we've just kind of included some information about the contact with a link to their portfolio. And that booking has also appeared in my calendar. So I've got a number of ways of knowing it's come through here. If I go back to my emails, you can see we've got this other one that's been sent to our applicant. What you need to know for your interview at TechFlow Automation. Hi, Jai. Thank you for applying to TechFlow Automations. Your interview has been scheduled and we look forward to speaking with you to help you prepare. Here are a few key details. And we've just got some additional information and another link to their interview. And finally, I'll just show off what happens back in the CRM. You can actually see it's automatically updated to interview booked. Remember how we moved it to invited to interview? Now it's interview booked. Once the interview has completed, it will automatically update to interview complete. And from there, we can either hire or reject or have a further interview, whatever you want with your applicant. So in this case, we're going to say no fit, and this is going to trigger this workflow over here. So same thing again here, we're just monitoring ClickUp for when the stage moves to no fit. And when it does, we're just going to send them another email. So if we just have a look at this, update on your application, TechFlow Automations. Hi, Jai. Thank you again for taking the time to apply to TechFlow Automations. We've now had the chance to review your application thoroughly. And after careful consideration, we've decided not to move forward with your application at this time. So yeah, that's basically my end-to-end hiring system. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you'd like a detailed walkthrough on how to build this, or maybe some of the make.com templates that I've used to create this, you should be able to find them in the link in the YouTube video description down below. And if you want me to build this for you, go to my website, book in a call, and discuss what I can do for you. Thanks.